I asked my students to send me their favorite Animal Crossing villager. What we're going to do is we're going to go over together as a class to give these Animal Crossing villager submissions a grade. Oh no, class, my ruler has fallen on the ground. Oh no, students, I've dropped my ruler. Why don't we get started? So who are we working with? I love flamingos, and she has a very nice design. My Flora is always out, Naruto running like the degenerate weeb she is. When it comes to Animal Crossing villagers, I feel it's sort of like a persona thing. When we talked about furries, we talked about personas. I talked about how like you always see the wolf or the dog. Mix it up a little, right? I always appreciate the personas that are not the typical dog. You know, not saying, you know, not to put anyone's whose persona may be wolf or wolf-like, power to the player. So when it comes to Animal Crossing villagers, I assume we're gonna see a lot of Ankha, a lot of Raymond, dogs, wolves. So I appreciate that we're starting off with a flamingo. Very cute. A+, pink. I like the vibes that Flora has. The dead eyes too. Something about the eyes. It sort of tells me that the Flora might be, it's sort of like a dingus, sort of doesn't know what's going on. Also, looks like a bit of a throat goat. You see that? Go, 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 go. I think that Flora's got a little bit of capabilities, which means that it's just above and beyond. What is this? A frog. My favorite is Lily because frogs are my favorite, and her smile is really charming. Picture is of my character and her digging up treasure on the beach. How wholesome. Is that your character? You got a little bit of a saucy look. Do the stars that indicate something is buried look like an asshole? Or is that just me? Very cute. I like the names that match the thing, right? Like Lily as in lily pad. I love all the frogs. I'm a little bit of a frogger, if you know what I mean. That's an A for me. Miko, Apollo, because I'm based and he's hot. Are you based and is he hot? A little bit of a casual answer. Apollo, bird, very good. I do think Apollo does have a sort of a DILF energy. I do like the aesthetic. However, these type of cool, like the cool cats, their personalities are a little milk warm. I feel like they're a little boring to talk to. The kind of like cool guy, just like, oh, very, very milk toast, I feel. Not speaking of the physical attractiveness, you know, in terms of the dilfiness, very, very fuckable, right? Very good name, by the way, Apollo, right? It's like, it's a name that is not overtly related to the animal, right? Like Lily the frog, it's like, oh, like lily pad frogs. Like Apollo doesn't necessarily relate, but it matches. I'm not thinking, this one's a B for me. Raymond, kind of looks like Professor Catboy. Raymond. Now, riddle me this, Batman. Why was Raymond so popular? Why? There's plenty of cats. 'Cause he's hot? Think about what you just said. Is it the eyes? It has like the heterochromia. I'm not understanding why Raymond was so hot. They gave him glasses. Let me tell you, wearing glasses does not get me any additional points in terms of hotness. No one has ever said, oh, those glasses really do something for me. In fact, glasses are usually associated with being not hot. Whenever you watch an anime or play Genshin Impact, all the side characters, background characters, they slap glasses on that bad boy and they say, okay, you're like not important. What about minions? Checkmate, you got me. I like Teddy because he's such a big sweetie. Oh, look at that. Okay, so now we're talking about the bears, huh? Greg is a villager that I really like. You know why? Because he does look like a sweetie. You know, kind of aloof, big bear, kind of chubby, kind of big, but looks like, you know, right? It's the contrast between his demeanor. Greg looks like he would dick you down like crazy, and then also be very soft and nice and like warm. Definitely Shino, she's got a rad design. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones where just purely based on aesthetics, just purely based on the physicality, they're like A tier for sure, S tier even. Shino, very cool. What is this? Sort of like a Japanese kabuki like oni deer thing. Cutie leaf. Shino does have a lot of this kind of like ara kind of thing going on. June. This might be a basic answer, but Marshall is probably my favorite. He reminds me of marshmallows and hot cocoa. Also, his smug personality is silly because he's just so small. I think what the gist of what you're saying, June, is that Marshall is a smug little twink. Thinks he's all bad, but when it comes down to it, when fur hits the mattress, they can't help but buckle. And I like that. I do like the smugness. Very cute squirrel. I like his little hair. Yes, little brat. We have any brat tamers in the chat? Have any brat tamers? I know a couple. Well, I think I like Ankha the best. Overrated, yes. Sure. But doesn't necessarily make it a bad choice, okay? Definitely overrated, right? But put that aside. Ankha by herself is, I think, very A tier. A tier. It's an A+. Maybe not an A+. The whole thing goes well. First of all, is a cat, which it might seemingly be generic animal, but it's the design, like this pharaoh integration with the cat, and like she's got the little pharaoh thing. Very different. It works so well. Ankha, the name matches the character so well, and also her attitude is very good. You know, kind of like this sassy, like like Cleopatra-esque. It all works together. The colors work well together. I like the pharaoh. So overrated, yes, but that does not take away from the fact I think it's going to be an A. One of the founders of our good culture these days, known by the alias Zone Sama, created this very gripping, very important piece of media showcasing Ankha. But let's be honest, if Zone could have just put any villager in it, and that villager would become as popular as Ankha has been. Maybe not as popular, because again, Ankha has a lot of base foundational traits that make her a good character. Like I said, the aesthetics and the attitude. But like, for example, it's just like what? Like Shino. If Zone could have been Shino, and Shino would have been like, it could have been Teddy. Not to downplay Ankha, but like, it's really the merit of Zone Sama, not really the Animal Crossing character. Don't try to deny. I mean, we see with Ankha and the media we've seen, don't tell me that I'm the only one who's playing Animal Crossing, enjoying the micromanagement of collecting resources and decorating my house. I know all of us, many of us, are walking around our Animal Crossing little town, and you pass by Whitney watering the plants, and I know you think the same thing I'm thinking. You want to like mash X and just fucking give it to it. We want a little bit of depravity in it. I don't just want to watch porn, because if I just wanted that, I would just watch porn. But I want to be playing the game, and so I play this game called Farm Together, which is this resource growing. You grow crops and you collect the crops for money, and you grow your farm. You can decorate your farm. And there's something about me, sexual tendencies aside, but I like collecting resources. I like the management. But I wish I could just kill someone. I wish there was a little violent, like, part of the game where, yes, I could farm crops, but I could also like kill you. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Ankha. Kitkat, yes, A+. Straight off the bat, A+. Kitkat is your favorite because you had him in Wild World and would always tell your friends you're married to him. Plus, he's too cute. Here's also, you mentioned Wild World, which is great. Wild World was great, but I have to say it. Someone has to. Animal Crossing New Leaf was the best Animal Crossing game. New Horizons, is that the new one on the Switch? Am I the only one that thinks that it was a letdown? It really was. It was a letdown. There was not enough content. And the promised content coming out did not nearly meet the expectations. New Leaf is still so much better. There should have been way more to New Horizons. Horizon can get there. You know what, Corin? I agree. It can. I'm waiting. And that's the thesis. Isabelle is my favorite. Her mood and vibe are very cute. She makes logging in worth it. Yes, I agree. We've gone over Isabelle plenty of times. Isabelle, sort of like a cougar-y, milfy, like frazzled, like keeping the town all together. And she goes home, she pounds some whiskey, rubs one out, and browses the internet, smokes a cigarette, and passes out. She's got that like realness, grit to her. Pietro. Back in the early days when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, many of my friends kept saying they didn't like him because he's a clown. Well, I think your friends are the clowns. Really. Pietro deserves just as much love as any other Animal Crossing villager. He's simply there to spread joy and smiles to our islands. The clown. Yes, the clown himself, Pietro. I have my faults. And I think one of my faults is that whenever a character is just very different and like breaking the mold, I have a mind to just give it a good grade because it's just like, it's cool, it's different, right? Like Teddy is good. I gave Teddy a good score, but he's just a bear. But look at this. Like, what the hell am I looking at? I want to give it an A just for that. And also, you know what? A+, because he's just trying to put a smile on your face. Putting on that clown makeup, dyeing his wool, it looks like it's a lot of work, but he does it because he wants to spread some joy. And also, I think Pietro's packing. Little balloon animal. Yeah, Bob. Well, let me just get out my fucking Hubble Space Telescope to look at this picture. Yeah, Bob. I like his like first of all, I like the name. It's just like Bob. Like, well, very like, and then just that look. You know what I mean? Captain wins by default. Captain's good. This is the boat guy. Don't Kappas like eat and assault like children? Don't they eat children and assault women? Monstrous creatures. Is Captain one of those? Is Captain the Jeffrey Epstein of Animal Crossing? Taking people on his boat? Will Smith was on that boat. Will Smith was on Captain's boat. Check the logs. Kevin Spacey went on Captain's boat. Listen, Captain, you gotta spill the beans. He's taking these celebrities on the boat to his private island. What are they doing on that island? No, Tom Hanks too? Not Tom Hanks. Don't tell me Tom Hanks was on the island. No! My favorite character is Tom Nook, since he was the one who introduced you. Without Tom Nook, the game would be very empty. You know what? Julie, unpopular opinion, but I think it's a very true one. People like to dunk. People like to put down Tom Nook because, right, he puts you in debt. But honestly, you hit a good point. Without Tom Nook, there would be no point. You would have no purpose, no drive. And I think that's very important to have. Tom Nook gives you a purpose. Also, yes, a bit of a sugar daddy, very rich. I imagine he's sort of like an oil baron type of guy, and he's saying like, hey baby, you know who I am? I'm the Tom Nook. He's like, give me a little spin, throw some bells at you. Oh my goodness, I've always liked Copper. His ethics were always admirable, and I just like his design. Pokemunk, you bootlicker. My favorite character from Animal Crossing is for sure Sue E. She's constantly harassing the player and other villagers at the beginning of the game, but opens to you more personal stuff when you get to know her. She also likes trashing people based on their clothing choice. I'm not really sure what you're saying, because it kind of sounds like you're saying I like her because she's a big bitch, which I'm not really understanding. Sasha is your favorite because he's cute and I like his laid-back personality. The Astolfo of Animal Crossing. Yes, I've seen this. With the Letterman's jacket. That's kind of hot with the Letterman. It's sort of like when your girlfriend wears your oversized sweatshirt. Where'd you get that Letterman, Sasha? I don't think you're on a football team. You might be on the football team in another way, Sasha. Oh my God, Meringue. Yes, sir. She is so cute. She inspired you to draw some messed up cannibal art once. What? Okay, what the fuck's going on? What is going on with the class? What are you guys on? Probably gonna redraw it soon. Yes, Meringue A tier. The rhino with like a strawberry shortcake. I'd be slurping up all that whipped cream on top of Meringue's head like I've been starving on an island. Little Joey. Is he wearing a diaper? Aww. Are you gonna shit yourself, Joey? A little bit of a... Yeah, I like Joey. He's very cute. I like the brows. I like the tiny little beady eyes too. Avery. Yeah, all the birds are kind of dilfy. Oh, what is this? Avery just came back from Afghanistan, I see. Rocking like the military like scarf thing, I see. You see? I see. A little shell shock. Little PTSD with those eyes. You did what you had to do, Avery. Is that what you tell yourself? Huh?